called Still a Gentleman. I was in Beverly Hills one day. I had some fun, and there was a restroom. There was a garbage can in the middle of the mall, and I used to the restroom with I peed in the garbage can in the middle of this mall in Beverly Hills, and I put that in that book because it doesn't take away from the fact that I'm still like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm still a gentleman. I'm still it doesn't take away from my glamorous like. So I just think it's important that I never put the book above me, I never put it beneath me. It's exactly who I am. I think it's important in anything you do to portray yourself how you are. People meet me sometimes, they're like, either they're humble or they want to have themselves all together. I remember I had this rooftop event and some friends were there and they invited another friend out and she said she didn't want to come, she had weed. And I was joking on Twitter about weed and stuff, just jokingly. And I thought that was crazy. You know, because people, I guess they do tend to hate, pedestal, which is ridiculous. I always say I'm exactly no different.
What made you make that distinction that I'm going to go with myself that road to be this?
I mean, so I was raised, I think it gets bad PR. You know? It gets bad PR.
Being raised?
No, etiquette, being a gentleman is bad PR.
And why do you think that is?
Because people think it's a corny guy with suspenders and yes ma'am, no ma'am, stiff and boring and whatever you want to do.
School kept though.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're supposed to be a gentlewoman, a gentleman is about maintaining your own identity, your own sense of self, and just applying these principles to your life just to enhance it. It's not about like taking on some persona or some character, or being somebody you're not, or being uncomfortable, being all weird. It's literally you look at it, you take what applies and omit what doesn't. Okay, I don't really think that. Don't worry about it. You're not gonna rock like that. But it's really about enhancing your life. So I was always living this life. I'm like, it's so rewarding. There's so many little aspects about etiquette that produce the greatest results. Like a handwritten note, or there's all through my life. Yeah, all through my life, I was doing things on the job and the relationships that was getting me so much further. It was the small little things. It was nothing, nothing serious. It's just how I was raised. So I thought it was important to pass that message. Like, you're not doing it all wrong. You don't have to put all this crazy effort in. All you gotta do is be a kind person with an edge. Living in your own uniqueness.
Watch it progress.
Yeah, watch it progress. So it's really about maintaining your sense of self and just applying it.
So guys, we have about 5 more minutes. I want to open this time for questions from the audience. And if you have any questions, we have a question. Go ahead and stand up for me.
If you could go back to a specific era, if you could go back to a specific era in time, which one would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. Did everybody hear her question?
If I could go back to a specific era in time, that's a great question. What would it be? 20s? The 20s is good. I mean, they dressed well. Gangsters wore suits. That's such a good question. I think the 70s was probably dope. But the 20s seems kind of cool. I think everybody dressed a little more noir. They were swinging. There was still a little more chivalry. There was more etiquette. Like, even though ladies at that point were still, and today still don't have equality, there was just a little more respect put forth overall. What'd you say? Well, I'm sure you're not from the 20s. But
Everything is the 20s.
Yeah, I think that was kind of cool, kind of classic era.
I think the 20s fit you. I really think the 20s fit you. Smooth, dapper gentleman.
Yeah, the dapper gentleman.
That's what I'm thinking, right? That's a great question. What was your name?
Jessica.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. And I have one question up there. What was your question?
I do. Okay, so I'll be honest, I haven't read the book yet. I've read the first couple pages. I love it. So my question is, I don't know if it's so much of a question, more so a discussion, but this book is all about empowering women and taking their crown back. But I think that there's a fine line between, being a confident woman, and then when you cross that line of being married and being in a relationship. Now, you wear that crown, but then ultimately when you're married, whose role is it? husband
Right.
and be encouraging to him because he's quote unquote the head of the household, right? So it's kind of that fine line. So I don't know if you want to speak about that and that fine line and how do you transition into that from being too confident and being prideful to now being humble and being white.
Yeah, definitely talk about that in the book in detail. I talk about submission and why people are afraid of the word and how men are supposed to submit as well to their wives. That's always omitted. Nobody ever discusses that part. But
It's a huge part of submission.
it's a very, very big part. But I think it's important in relationships, like there's no like rules, so to speak. It's kind of like however you two, everybody's different. There are no specific rules to relationships. I would say like, if you don't divvy up the tasks, you're not gonna get some ass. You know, like if you do the dishes, I'll cook. You know, if I cook it, there's no. And sometimes I'll cook, sometimes you do the dishes, sometimes you do the dishes, sometimes I cook. I'll take out the trash always. It's nighttime and it's neighborhood. It's safer, but there really are no. I think it's important in a marriage, specifically a marriage, to balance out those kinds of things so no one feels overwhelmed or feels like it's a duty according to the sex, you know?
And I think like if I would have read this book a couple years ago, prior to I was married, I would have taken it and read it. You know, and then been prideful and I was, you know,
Not be married.
right. And be that strong woman and be intimidated to most men, but now that I'm on the flip side and I am married, it's different. And it's like I read this book and I'm like, wow, like it's a whole nother different dynamic.
I'm sure you have a plan with your you communicating. You have a plan with your dating life, you need to communicate that. And if somebody is turned off from it, you save yourself some time.
What are you gonna tell him?
Be courteous about it. Say, you know what? I kind of prefer, I'm a lady. I kind of prefer either in person or we communicate over the phone. And either he's going to say, oh, my bad, or like, and then that tells you what would happen down the line. So it kind of saves you some time. Created, you were born for a reason. It's just a belief in that. That's all it is. It's all confidence. It's believing you are what God said you are.
Amen.
All confidence.
I like that. I feel like that's a great way to close out. Read that last line for me one more time. Just look at the camera.
Confidence is believing you are who God said you are. Simple, right?
Simple. So there you have it. There you have it, socialites. Another segment here on the news sheet with none other than Enitan going over his latest book, Gentlewoman. Amazing. Glad you guys sat down with us. Of course, you know where to find us at